Good morning. This is Jeff Kelly with Trax-n-Tractor Excavation. First of all, don't pay any attention to my shop. It's a mess. I've got lots of projects going on and the repairs, normal things to do with businesses. But what I'm going to be doing is preparing for my 2025 business plan. And I'm going to start out by building a hydro seeder. For you that are not familiar with hydro seeding, it virtually takes the place of laying down sod at a much more economical price. So I started this project out by buying a 600-gallon tank that I'm going to use to build this hydro seeder. It comes from the Forestry Service. They used it for a watering tank. It has a port right there where that nipple is coming out of there, and that'll be for a recirculation purpose. Then right there is the fill tank where I'll put the mulch in. So I'm probably going to use 2 pumps on this. I was just going to use 1, but I think I can be a little more consistent with the application of the mulch and the seed if I use 2 pumps. Realistically, it's not a whole lot more money to do that. There may be a little bit more in plumbing, and that's another reason why I kind of want to use 2, because the recirculation one, it really needs to be very stable where it doesn't move. So I'm probably going to hard pipe it. I'm not going to use PVC. I'll probably use some type of a galvanized, something like that. So anyway, stay tuned. This is coming up in 2025. I'm excited. A lot of customers have asked for it. It's just something I can add to my business to provide a very effective and a very good product to the customer. I'm not really a big history guy at all. But one of my friends stopped by yesterday, he and his wife, and we were talking about this tank conversion that I'm going to be making the hydro seeder out of. And we were just talking about the different things that this tank probably has seen, if we could only see what it has seen in its lifetime. I can tell you that it's a 1985 tank because it's actually still got the tag on it. They've got it marked as a 95 in yellow marker, but that's not can't be the case because that tag surely shows 1985. But it's got U.S. Army marked on the sides, all 4 sides, and then on this side it's also spent some of its tenure in the Oklahoma Forestry Service. So it's kind of cool, some of the stuff that we're finding. There was a tag there, and then when I was high pressure washing yesterday, there was another one from a rural fire department in Oklahoma as well. But today I'm painting it, and I'm painting it no other than grass green, because that's what this is for. I haven't given you an update in a few days. I finally finished painting this water tank and get it ready for what we're going to call hydro seeding. And I told you I thought I would go with 2 pumps, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You have 2 pumps right there. This one's going to recirculate 158 gallons per minute. It's only going to be used for recirculatory purposes. Half of that 158 or 79 gallons of this one, while I'm hydro seeding, 79 gallons of it will recirculate through that. The remaining 79 gallons is what I will use to apply the hydro seed. I don't typically work on Sunday, but my mother-in-law passed away yesterday, and I had to have something to keep my mind off of things. And it's raining outside, and so that's what I chose to do. I'm going to miss her tremendously. She's a wonderful woman, and man, I just love her, and I hate it that my wife is going through all this, because there was not a better woman in this world than her mother. The best thing about her being a Christian is I've been saved by grace, and I will see her again someday in heaven, along with my dad and my mom. It's a wonderful, wonderful, blessed assurance, and not only that, we'll be in the hands of Jesus. So I can rejoice in that. I'm going to keep you in touch with what I got going on. I think the 2 pump setup will give me more consistency with what I got going on, and so I'm excited about it. Arkansas's weather has issues. It is hot today. It's stuffy, but hey, it's not raining, and we got beautiful sunshine. What I'm doing today is building a frame to put the tank on and the two pumps. And I'm going to make them out of 2x8s treated and 2x4s. And here's the start of it. I'm going to center these about 6 inches apart. That way they will fit right on the top of the other skids and support the weight of the liquid that's inside. So I'm basically going to make an oversized pallet. And then on this side, it's going to have a drop down. And the reason why it's going to have a drop down is because I need the ports on those to match closer to the port on that. So anyways, I wanted to give you an update. Okay, y'all, it's been a long day, but I am done with the frame. And I'm going to start plumbing tomorrow. This is what it looked like. Got my two pumps set in there. I don't have them bolted down because I still have to plumb it. But you'll see a step down there, and the reason why that's there, I needed this quick cam to be pretty close to this, so I didn't have much wiggle room. I need it to be pretty solid, straight. I didn't want a lot of flexibility of it. But that's what it looks like. I'm gonna take my skid steer, load the thing up in an empty state, and then take it out and do jobs. Good evening. This is the last thing you will see from this video build of the hydro seeder until it's actually put into action. I'm going to be testing it out sometime when the weather's good enough, but the only thing I really lack is, I'm going to try to do this with this. I got to put another line up through here from right here on up and into the top for recirculation. As I told you before, I planned on having one pump for recirculation and one pump for the feed and hydro seed. And half of that will go back into recirculation. The only two things I lack is bringing a pipe. This is an output for the recirculation pump up to the top and into the tank. This one I have already done. This is the feed side. This is what I will be using to hydro seed with. This valve is to decide the flow of how much of the slurry comes out and onto the ground. I can control this flow through this one. If I'm halfway here, I know that I'm getting somewhere around 70 gallons if this thing's running at full capacity. I've also got a way to shut this off, the slurry pump. So basically my plan is to run this at halfway, which will make the rest of it go up this and into the tank. One of the things also that I've done on the recirculation pump, I've actually made this so that I can pull up to a pond or some type of a water reservoir and fill up this tank a whole lot faster. You see, the output here, the output will actually go back to the top of the tank. Well, when I'm not using it for recirculation only, I turn this valve off. All right. I crank this pump up. I open this valve first. I open this valve, crank this pump up with the hose that comes out of here and into the pond. It should flow this way through the pump, through here, and into the tank to fill it up. So I believe I have thought this thing through very well. We'll see what happens, but basically this is my setup. Recirculation only, hydro seeding, and recirculation. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do two pumps also, and this is kind of a big deal, this thing has a baffle in it about right here. So it's about a third of the way towards the front. The front 1/3 is what I plan on pushing the reserve slurry back into the tank with. So I'll get some recirculation there. The other 2/3 of the pump is going to get the full recirculation on the back side of this. So there'll be circulation through the entire system. I hope you've enjoyed this build. I always enjoy doing stuff like this. I'm excited to come back with a follow-up video and show you how this thing actually works. and we'll run it. But it's going to be a while because we're into November already, and unless I just decide to, to waste a batch and see how it works, and I may just do that. But anyways, that's the completion of it. Be looking for a follow-up video. If you don't mind, take a second and click subscribe and like on this video, and share with your friends. And because this has been fun, everybody needs to learn some things. You can learn a lot through YouTube. That's one thing I have noticed. So God bless you, and I will follow up with you when I apply hydro seed.